Hello everyone, this is Lam. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a bloom. So without further ado, let's get started. First, I put a white pillow down, a big puddle of white paint. And then I'm going to do it a little bit differently from a regular bloom. So usually we put drops of colors individually in the middle of the white pillow. But today, I'm actually going to do a flip cup on it. So the way I layer the cup is that I went from dark to light. And so I started with a deep violet, which is a flat paint, not metallic. That is actually my cell activator. And then I use Chroma's Molten Violet. And then some Quinacridone Magenta and Molten Metals Red. Now here is some pink metallic, and then I put some white before I put the gold in, because gold and pink mixed together would create orange, and I love orange, but for this particular case I don't want any orange, so I separate the gold from the pink. And then I actually put a little bit of light green, so that because I want a little bit of green in the middle of the bloom. So I flip and let the paint come out. How pretty. Now I'm also going to do it a little bit differently from regular bloom. Usually we put more white paint around the pillow as a flow extender, but this time I'm actually going to put colors around it. I first put down a shade of gold that has some green tint to it, and next I am using Decoart's Festive green, which is a metallic color. Now that is metallic leaf green from artist Loft. I'm heavy on the metallics this time, as usual. Now Chroma's Molten Metal green. So there are already 3 different shades of greens. The shade variation is going to create interest and differences. Now there's a little bit of Peacock Pearl by Decoart. Is also a metallic color. So with all these all laid out, I'm going to take my bamboo stick and swirl it around just to mix the colors a little bit. Okay, just a few more swirls and I am ready to blow. And today I'm just going to blow it out by mouth, because this is a small 10 by 10 canvas. If I use the blow dryer, it will be too much. There will be paint all over the place. So here I am just blowing it out and turn it around and blow some more. At this point, you don't see the cells yet, but the cells are going to form because I used FineTouch Deep Violet, which is a good lace maker, and also Chroma's Molten Metal Red. For some reason, it's a wonderful lace maker. It makes the most amazing lacing. So now this is pretty much blown out, and I'm just blowing some paint back into the center, so the center doesn't look like one big dead spot, that it will still have some color variation. And then I'm blowing out some more color to the side. Now the tilt. There's plenty of paint on the canvas, so I didn't need to add more flow extender. Is flowing nicely. Okay, it's almost covering all the corners. Here we go. Now it comes the fun part, but there's also the difficult part, is to decide what more to do to it. And most people would probably just leave it like this. But to me, this one has too many dead spots to it, and I like my paintings to be very detailed, and with a lot going on, I don't like that spot. And I also want to put some personal touch to my painting, something of my own expression. So that's why I always do something to my bloom. I very seldom just leave them as it is. I usually like to do some balloon rolls or some cupping or chain pull or something. And for this one, I decided to do cupping. So here I am taking out a clean cup and started first I used the bamboo stick to play around it a little bit. And then I take out my clean cup and start thinking about what to do. It's intimidating, the first move. Okay, I started dragging it, making some green lines. Because even though we can see it, and most of the outer green colors have tilted off the canvas, but there are actually some green left behind on the edges because the top layer of paint just roll over the green. So there are a lot of different shades of green underneath. So I'm using my cup to bring out some of that. Especially in areas that has nothing much going on, I like to introduce some patterns to it, because I like my painting to be very busy. And this can take a while because I am doing some thin lines here. I don't want to disturb pattern too much, because what I usually do is create details, but I don't want to disturb the overall formation of the painting too much. Now here I am doing more digging now with the cup to bring out the underneath green to the surface. So I am just using my cup and my fingers to add more details. And this is a very slow and kind of long process because I like to micromanage my details to get it right. Well, there's no wrong or right, but I just want to get the details to as much my liking as I can. And that takes a lot of minor adjustments. So I am actually doing double time here. The real process is a lot slower. There's a lot to think about. I'm trying to not disturb most of the lacings because I love them, but I still want to get the details in between the lacings. So that is a delicate process. Now here I'm using my pinky finger to drag the paint along to add some finer details. And for longer and curved lines, like here, I use the rim of my cup because that would drag up more paint. And I make sure I wipe off the cup between use really well so that the color doesn't get muddy. I use a lot of paper towels in my process, and they are hard to come by nowadays. I'm glad I was able to find some in Walmart, otherwise I would be in trouble. And you can use other devices. You don't have to use a cup. You can use a mixing stick, you can use a bamboo stick, and they will give some different effects. But here, since I have my cup handy, so I just keep using it. Here I'm actually digging with my cup to produce more feather-like, petal-like formation rather than thin lines. And it takes me a while to contemplate where exactly to put the next move, to do the next move and put the cup where I want to. And it takes a few tries. And if you make mistake, there's no big deal there. You can fix it. Or not, well, you can do something to it so that it doesn't look bad. And usually it doesn't look bad, usually it looks good. Now here I'm dragging the cup and look at the nice colors it produces. It gives a nice mix of color that is really dreamy, but it also, there's a risk of making mud. So there's a fine line between looking pretty and overdoing it. And I tend to overdo it, and then I'll have to blotch it with a paper towel and then add some more color and then fix it. But this time it actually turned out nice. So I just keep going around and looking for spaces to put my cup down and drag out some colors. And at this point, I started thinking about the middle. Because what happens with using the cup to drag color like that is that you are pushing the paint toward the direction of your movement. So since I'm going toward the middle, all the paint is being pushed to the middle, so the middle part of the bloom becomes pretty thick with paint. And it can be good and it can be not so good, because when there's an area of paint that is too thick, it doesn't dry even, and sometimes it may even crack when the paint is too thick as it dries. So in order to prevent that, I will have to do something about it. But at this point, I am still working on the petals. So I just do my details on all the petals, all the directions first. And then when I finish with that, I'll think about the middle. Okay, I'm still dabbing a few times, but I am working in the middle now, and I am trying to create a round kind of a swirl ring in the middle. Because that is kind of like the natural flow of all my details are running, so I'm just following the flow. And here I'm dabbing with my finger again and using my bamboo stick to fix a few things. Some of the lines that are not defined enough, then I am using the bamboo stick to help with the definition. And torch. Make sure to torch really well so there will be no surprise bubbles that show up at the drying process. Because that is really annoying when you have this perfect painting that looks so beautiful when wet, and then it dries and it get, holes all over it because of bubbles. bamboo stick here and there just to smooth a few things around. Well, at this point, I feel the painting is done, but there's still so much paint in the middle that I actually took a piece of paper towel and dab at the middle to take off some paint because I don't want to risk it cracking. But doing so would disturb the paint a little bit, but that is also opportunity to add a little bit of detail in the center area. And that's what happens when I dab off the paint on the surface. The color underneath will show up, which is a lighter color pink. And that is okay. I like that. Now the bamboo stick again, just to fix a few more things because I like to fuss over the details. But actually the painting is done. I don't have anything else to add to it. So here it is, a bloom with beautiful spring colors, and I hope you like it. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. Thank you for subscribing. And if you are new to my channel, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate your support. I'll have a lot more new video tutorials coming up in the near future. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Be safe and take care.